Recently I was afforded the privilege of getting to see and handle one of the rarest awards of Nazi Germany, a medal forever associated with Hitler's failure to seize power by force in 1923, but later a great honor, receipt of which meant the person was a member of an exclusive brotherhood, the Order of Blood. I am extremely grateful to Jamie Cross Collectible Militaria for giving me access to these medals and badges seen in this program. All the items you see are for sale, so please visit his website, details in the description box. Blood, of course, was of vitally important symbolic meaning to the Nazis. The purity of blood, that is the notion of a movement full of people of the same blood or racial ancestry. However, the idea wasn't Nazi in origin, rather it was built on older ideas that found particular popularity in the 19th century Völkisch movement, along with the idea of soil, so we often hear the term blood and soil. These movements flourished particularly in the 19th century through to the reaction to military defeat after 1918 that the Nazis emerged from. Blood and soil was a slogan adopted by the Nazis, coming out of the Völkisch-influenced Artermann League. The 1923 Beer Hall Putsch, of course, marked Hitler's daring attempt to seize power in Munich by force, a coup that was defeated by local nationalist leaders and the police in a bloody gun battle beside the famous Feldherrnhalle, the Field Marshal's Hall in Munich, in the centre of the city. But though tried and found guilty of treason and sent to prison, the publicity that Hitler garnered on the back of his coup failure was massive, gaining himself much support across Germany. Early on, the idea was set that involvement in the Beer Hall Putsch had been a great honor to the individual. It made you one of the alte Kämpfer, the old fighters, one of the original Nazis that had laid his life on the line for Hitler and the National Socialist ideal. The first attempt to draw attention to Beer Hall Putsch participants was this simple badge, issued by the Nazi Party organization in Munich on the 10th anniversary, as a badge of honor that participants could wear. The badge consists of a large, mobile swastika containing the date 1933 in the center, set inside a sculptured wreath of oak leaves, with a banner wrapped around it, carrying the inscription, "Und ihr habt's doch gesiegt," which means, "and yet you have triumphed." This refers to the fact that 10 years after failure in 1923, a Nazi government was installed in Germany. This badge is of fine quality and was awarded to all surviving Putsch participants, made and awarded by Gau Munich on the 10th anniversary, so it is not technically a national award. However, Hitler felt that a more elaborate and distinctive honor was required as a reward to those members of the party that had stood with him in 1923, and the Gau honor badge was superseded by the Blood Order. In March 1934, the Blood Order was established. The design is quite striking. The medal is 99% silver, and the obverse depicts an eagle grasping an oak leaf wreath. Beside the wreath is the Putsch date, 9th of November. To the right is the inscription München 1923 to 1933. The medal's reverse shows the Feldherrnhalle, where the coup was defeated, with a mobile swastika above with sun rays in the background. Above is the inscription, "And yet you have triumphed," the same as that found on the earlier Gau badge. The ribbon is very similar, but older than that of the Iron Cross 1939. Red with 2 white stripes and 2 outer black stripes. This award was not worn on the left breast as with other decorations and medals. Instead, the ribbon was worn at the buttonhole of the right pocket, and on certain formal occasions the medal was worn suspended from this buttonhole. The exclusivity of this award cannot be overstated. Each medal was numbered, and a total of 1,500 were given to Putsch participants. To qualify, one had to have been a Putsch participant who also had been a Nazi Party member or a member of one of its other formations before January 1932, or have been a cadet from the Munich Infantry School whose members had also marched in support of the coup. Only 2 medals were issued unnumbered, those of Hitler and Hermann Göring. In 1938, Hitler extended the Blood Order's membership beyond those who had taken part in the 1923 Putsch, using it as a high party decoration for merit for other old fighters from the period after 1923 but before Hitler came to power, which upset many of the original 1,500 medal recipients. The new qualifications for award were for any person who had served time in prison for Nazi activities before 1933, or had received a death sentence that had subsequently been commuted to life imprisonment for NSDAP activities before 1933, or had been severely wounded in the service of the Nazi Party before that date. This medal was in turn extended to members of the Austrian Nazi Party who had taken part in the 1934 July Putsch against the government of Chancellor Engelbert Dollfuss, or had received prison time or injuries for their Nazi activities. Hitler could also bestow the Blood Order posthumously at his own discretion. The last person awarded the Blood Order was SS General Reinhard Heydrich, following his assassination in Prague in 1942. The new round of medals were of 80% silver and numbered above 1,500. As this example here demonstrates. Each recipient also received this award certificate. In total, fewer than 6,000 people, including 16 women, received either of the 2 types of the Blood Order. One character who had his Blood Order withdrawn was Reichsfuhrer SS Heinrich Himmler in April 1945 for treason to the state, after Hitler discovered that he had been secretly negotiating behind his back with the Western Allies. The award wasn't just limited to Nazi officials. Several serving generals also held the Blood Order, under the 2 criteria outlined. For example, General Eduard Dietl, the famous mountain troop commander, and Luftwaffe Generals Werner Kreiper and Günther Korten, the latter dying of his wounds following the assassination attempt on Hitler at the Wolf's Lair on the 20th of July 1944. These awards occasionally appear for sale. The highest profile sold recently was the one that was awarded to Hitler's chief bodyguard in 1923, Ulrich Graf, who saved Hitler's life during the Putsch, pulling him down when the police opened fire and taking 5 bullets for the Führer. His Blood Order was sold at a British auction for £36,500 in July 2019. Many thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share. Also visit my audiobook channel, War Stories with Mark Felton. You can also help to support both of my channels at PayPal and Patreon. Details in the description box below.